Hey everyone, it's Jamie up here at B&L Detailing Department. I got a good one in today I wanted to kind of show you guys. It's been a little while since I did a van. I'm going to take you around real quick. As you can see, motor's pretty dirty. Pretty standard stuff there. But the real fun part, I've already taken some seats out, is the inside. This is one that a lot of them probably wouldn't even look at. Normally a very expensive detail due to the damage to the carpets. You can see all the stuff on the leather here. Headliner actually don't look too bad. There is some really severe stains, as you can see right here. I'm going to kind of take you through, show you how to take them out. Give me just a second here. I'll do a time lapse, remove these seats, and then I'll bring you right back. Alright, now our seats are removed. You can kind of see a little bit better of what we're dealing with. If you've checked out our page, you'll know that I've done quite a few vans. I've got the before and after shots of the other vans that I've done, but it has been a little while. If you come down here, you'll see these. See how dirty these are? And down in here, really hard to get to, right? Well, there is a trick, just like to everything else. These will have to be removed. I use a little scraper. You can also use a little flathead screwdriver. What you want to do is you want to get these little pieces right here, and you want to pop them up. You want to do it on both sides. Give me just a moment, and I'll show you how it looks when it's pulled up. Alright. Now, if you notice, they're not completely out. You want to be real careful with that because these are easy to break. If you pull them all the way out, then usually they're really hard to get back in. And voila, we see the nice little stuff on the inside. Now what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to clean it to where it looks as close to new as possible. So that will include getting all this up, of course, a pre-vac, then coming in and doing my stain removal first before I actually do an extraction. When I say extraction, if you don't know what that means, it's superheated water. What we're going to do is it will scrub it, or excuse me, vacuum it, spray it with chemical. Then I will scrub it, saturate the area, and then suck it out. It'll go into this little container here where it is later removed from the back of the item. Okay. Another thing is, I was talking about earlier, you see that I have some really bad stains over here. Looks like rust almost. I'm not going to sit here and try to identify the stains. It's really not that big of a deal. A stain's a stain to me. If it'll come out, it'll come out. The thing I do that's a little bit different is I pre-treat those areas first. As you can see, I've got quite a few of them in here. What I'm going to do is I use a very strong cleaner on something like that. Detail King sells it. You could also use even Purple Power from Walmart, as long as you dilute it properly. What you're going to do is you're going to saturate the area real well. And don't be scared to get it wet. If you have a shop vac, it will come in real handy here in a little bit because there's going to be a lot of moisture. And you want to get as much of that moisture out as possible. Another good thing with these vans is you can put a dehumidifier in them after you get done with your carpets, and it will assist with drying out your carpets. That way you don't have any issues with possible mold or anything like that. Excuse me. Now we're going to grab our brush, and all I'm going to do is saturate that little area just a little bit. And that way it brings it out. Now when I take the extractor to it, it'll pull it out a lot easier. Now I'm going to do that to these other spots as well. Alright, now you can see after the pre-vac, I've removed all of these. All this is now pre-vacuumed. Real quick, when you do your pre-vac, just remember that you're going to be scrubbing on this floor, and I mean, you're going to put a lot of time into this, so don't overthink it. Just get as much of the big particles out as you can. You ain't got to go crazy with a pre-vac. The guys up there in Florence, Kentucky was sending me messages asking me about vans, and that's one of the reasons why I did this video. I wanted to kind of explain how I get them to come back to life to where, you know, they are acceptable for your family again. Granted, I want to explain that this is going to take some time. This is more than likely a 2-day job. This is just the interior that I'm starting on. I've still got the outside to do. It needs to be clay barred. There's some repairs probably need to be done, and I'm going to try to walk you through it. This is going to be kind of a timely video, so ahead of time I apologize. I'll try to cut it off as much as possible, but what I want to explain real quick is I do have a little bit better equipment than some. Like I said, I have the extractor. If you don't have an extractor, another thing that you can do is go up at a Kroger or Walmart and get one of those rug doctors. It'll work similar to this one, kind of the same purpose. But remember, when you are extracting, you are using extreme heat, so it is a machine that you need to respect. But also, like with this stuff, these stains that have been here for a long time, when you pull that up, as you can see, there's foam underneath here. And what we don't want to do is, we don't want to let mold or anything else get into that foam. So what you're going to need to do is make sure that it is very, very dry. If you're doing this in the summertime, a good thing to do, of course, is to set it outside. You know, after you extract, go back and use your shop vac, and just vacuum it out really, really well. And another thing, as I said earlier, there's nothing really that I've seen that works better than just closing all the windows. You can turn the heat on and let the seats and stuff dry if you have cloth seats. But another thing you can do is a dehumidifier. Put you a dehumidifier in the center of all this, turn it on overnight. Of course, you know, use common sense. Try not to let it get hot or anything, but let it run and it'll draw all that moisture out of the vehicle. It so far has worked really well on prior details. I don't know if I'm going to have to use it on this one or not. Just going to be one of them things where we'll see what happens as we get into it. As I said earlier, I went ahead and pulled the seats so I can kind of see what I'm dealing with here. I like to do this because it's easier to get to. I can see what I'm dealing with. As you can see, I do have some stains and stuff, but also they're out in the open. You know, granted, we are in the garage, but they're out in the open. It'll dry better, it'll look better, and I can see it better. When it's inside a vehicle, I've always got to use lights and so on to be able to get a good view. But I'm going to get to work on this, and I'll bring you guys back here in a little bit and show you the product.